I'm voting pro-choice.
I am voting pro-choice.
I'm 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 voting pro-choice this November because I believe in women.
Who are the women who obtain abortions in the United States? You might be surprised. Almost 1 out of every 3 American women will have an abortion by age 45.
President Obama is a very compassionate person, that he's not out for you to get an abortion. Nobody wants you to get an abortion, but the rule of the land is pro-choice right now.
I am pro-choice. I believe in Roe versus Wade, and I come to that conclusion not because I'm pro-abortion, but because ultimately I don't think women make these decisions casually.
SB 5 would ban abortions after the 20th week of pregnancy and also effectively shut down most abortion clinics in Texas because it would limit abortions to surgical centers instead.
Why are we letting our government and not doctors make decisions about a medical procedure?
We don't turn to politicians for advice about mammograms, prenatal care, or cancer treatments, and they shouldn't. Politicians don't belong in a woman's personal medical decisions about her pregnancy.
I think the most important thing that we accomplished is we empowered the voice of people in Texas and people who wanted to stand against this intrusion, this big government intrusion into their personal lives and liberty was given a voice.
The Lieutenant Governor has agreed that SB 5 is dead.
Afford the child when you cannot afford to have the child or you don't have the resources. Looking at that baby doesn't make it any easier to make their choice.
Making abortion illegal will simply make it less safe.
They go east, they're going to Bobby Jindal's Louisiana, which as of right now is considering, this week, the state legislature considering the same anti-abortion legislation that Texas passed last year that's closing down all of Texas's clinics. If you think they might escape north to Oklahoma, Republicans in the legislature there are in the process of finalizing another raft of anti-abortion legislation that is also intended to close clinics there. The escape routes are ending as long as the escape routes go to other red states. The escape routes are starting to look like Mexico, and that's it. The Whole Woman's Health Clinic in Beaumont is the only abortion provider for a 260-mile stretch between Houston and Baton Rouge. In the last 2 weeks, the only 2 remaining reproductive health care clinics in the valley closed down, leaving an area the size of Connecticut with 0 access to abortion. The first set of regulations is basically credited with shutting down 19 of the state's 32 clinics. This next set of regulations that's due to go into effect in the next few months, it's set to close 13 more of the 19 clinics that remain in the state.
Call it pro-life and then pro-choice. Yeah. They should really call it pro-choice and anti-choice, because that is what it's really about.
Tonight we celebrate the historic Roe versus Wade decision handed down 40 years ago. But we also gather to recommit ourselves to the decision's guiding principle, that women should be able to make their own choices about their bodies and their health.
You can't afford to have your kid. I don't want you having one, and I want you to have the ability to say the truth. I really can't do this right now.
I'm voting pro-choice, so she doesn't have to.
I want my daughter to always feel like she's valued.
I really want a family one day, but I want it on my own terms.
The one in pregnancy.
I think that between my husband and I, we can decide when to become parents.
Everyone deserves access to reproductive health care.
I have a right to know my options.
No one should make decisions about my reproductive health care except for me.
So I'm a man for choice.
I believe that women are people too.
I believe in the pro-choice majority.